was special oil.
Oh, so how did it become holy?
Anything that was devoted to God in the temple, then wouldn't be used for anything else. It was only used for that purpose, and therefore became consecrated or set apart for only the temple service. You couldn't light use the oil in the temple lamps and then think, well, I'm off my shift in 10 minutes. What I'll do, I'll just bung some of that in my pocket and take it home and use my own lamps at home. No, you couldn't do that, because that was holy. That was set apart for God's service to the temple. Just as the implements, you couldn't do your beans and toast or something you were going to use on the altar, as a sacrificial altar, because that was set apart only for that purpose. And so that's why we again, it's one of these words, isn't it? We use the word holy in a very loose way. What you mean is sanctified for a set service. Holy oil, set apart for a particular purpose.
The reason why I was asking was my sister was telling me she was at church the other Sunday, and the bishop came along with some water, and it was
holy water.
Holy water.
Yeah.
Well, how did it get holy?
Well, this would be a different thing, you know. Under Jewish system, because they followed God's plan on how to prepare it for the purpose that God had prepared it for, then it was set apart for that purpose and became holy, sanctified, set apart. But we've got nothing in the Christian religion that has the ability to make anything holy in that same sense today, nor do we have any instructions on to set apart anything. The only thing we have to make holy is ourselves. And in Romans chapter 12, he says we are set apart for service.
Yeah, I was at a christening the other day, and they had some anointing oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, but in the Jewish tradition, there was always certain people who had the task to make that, and it was only used for that one purpose. Now, again, what we've done in modern society, because they didn't understand that the kingdom is here, and that Christians are the new people of God, and that all the Jewish system, including the sacrificial system, has been done away with, what they've done is they've carried over some of those traditions. For example, the people, there's only certain people allowed to use the holy water and holy oil, and these are the priests or vicars.
That oil, because you started talking about it, it says, if any has got a day off work, the same sort of oil is going to be anointing the bishop or something, a new bishop that's coming in or something.
See, you've got all sorts of problems when you go into that era, because all of that, the incense, the oil, the holy water, all that type of stuff was finished under the old system, because we're under the new system. But because they wanted the power, they wanted to maintain the power, by the 3rd and 4th century after Christianity started, they started to resurrect some of the old institutions to give people, certain individuals, power over other people. And so that's why now, when you talk to a lot of normal people, and you say, who go to church regularly, if you try to say to them, are you a priest? They say, no, I'm not a priest up there. He's a priest. But that's not the biblical priest. Every Christian, male and female, is a priest unto God. And that's why we offer ourselves and worship unto God. So there are a whole bunch of stuff was gathered or carried over that really, ideally, needs to be kicked into touch. That's why this is important. And the Book of Acts is a historical book. And less than a couple of years, well, a few 10, 50 years down the line, everything that they see around them, the whole priestly system, because when you think in the Old Testament, there was only supposed to be Levites, there were supposed to be priests. The whole priestly system, the sacrificial system, the temple, gone.
And like Mr. Timmerman say, I read a bit and it says about suddenly called Father in heaven, Father. Yeah, and then like all the priests you call Father John, the Father Peter.
This is, yes, you should only have your physical father, and the only spiritual father you have is God. It's the same with the word that's used in the Church of England for vicar. There's only one place in the Old Testament that anybody is called a vicar, and that's God. So they've taken that name and said, well, we are God's representative, you call us the vicar. Matter of fact, they even go further. We're the Right Honourable. There's nobody in the Old Testament or the New Testament who's the Right Honourable. You know, they're the super people. But where all that comes from is from tradition. It's not biblical. And to move it one step further, if you like, the bishop should be the husband of one wife. So one of the qualifications for being a bishop is that you need to be married. And a lot of bishops are not.
But obviously they're reading the Bible. Do you know what I mean? And no, I'm not reading that.
When you go to theology school, especially like in Skelmersdale, when I worked for about 3 years, there was a huge college up there where they trained priests. And when you talk to them, real nice guys, when you talk to them, most of their time isn't spent studying the Bible. It's spent on telling you what to wear, what colour to wear, when to wear it, and which ceremony. The whole ceremonial thing takes up a great deal of what they're taught. Having said that, there's some real good scholars amongst them. I had one of my good friends, and one of the best theological debates where, you know, somebody could really talk to about the scriptures. He was a Roman Catholic father. He actually moved to Birmingham to teach Christian ethics. But he was a superb person to talk to. And I counted him, I respected him greatly. And we used to have some cracking discussions. And he knew his book. And another guy, Church of Scotland guy, the Greek scholar, Barclay. Barclay, when you asked him certain questions, he says, well, you know, this is just between you and me, because if you tell anybody else, I'll lose my job. You know, I can't tell you, I couldn't say this to my congregation, but this is what the word means. That's sad, really. You know, they know what the word means.
But that seems, well, wrong.
Yes.
Anyway.
Isn't it? You know, like, to turn around and teach something that you know is wrong.
That is wrong.
It's your job, isn't it?
If it's wrong.
If you value your job, you know, that's what you're.
job.
I was a Methodist guy. I used to go to the ministers' meeting of the local town in Skelmersdale, and about maybe 12 of us always get together, and it was each person's responsibility on a rota basis to just say a few words about different things. But one of the guys who used to meet regularly was a Methodist hall, and this Methodist minister, and there was two of them. There was a woman and a man, and he would sit there with his vodka and his pipe in the ministers' meeting. What's going on? Anyway, I could start a little with that. Anyway, thanks.
Excuse me, isn't Barclay a liar then?
He's economical with the truth.
A liar.
No, because he was in his scholarship and his Greek books, and when you're looking at the Greek words, he's excellent quite often in the Greek words. He doesn't get them all right, but he's not bad. But when you read his commentaries, then he's what you call a liberal theologian. So he can play about with the truth a bit more. That's the right word.
No, you can't play about with the truth.
Yeah, if he's turned around and says to you, I can tell you this, but I can't tell them.
He'll lose his job. You don't want a poor guy to lose his job, do you?
Graham.